What's up, everybody? So, I'm Eric. This is the Flobass channel. It is awesome to see all of your smiling faces here again in another video. Now today, I'm in this park and I'm under this hut that seems to be echoing. Hopefully it's not too bad for you guys. But, came out here to do a little bit of work for Trapper Tackle, but also I figured this would be a good opportunity to do a little bit of a review for you. So, summer's coming up really fast, and in Florida, when it's summertime, you want to be fishing the beaches because that's when all the bait comes up really close to the shore, and you can target those snook down here in southeast and southwest Florida. So, I picked up one of these guys. This is a Daiwa BG. This is a 5000 series. Maybe a little bit overkill for the beach because you're not dealing with a lot of cover and whatnot, but I just wanted to have that extra line capacity in case something big comes along. Probably not going to, but this is going to get me squared away for the beach and a lot of other opportunities that I'm going to be hitting up later on this year. So this thing holds an insane amount of line. So 40 pounds, so let's say 40 pound braid. This thing holds 480 yards. Do you know how long it takes to spool this up? Absolutely forever. And of course, when you're spooling it, you want to make sure that the braid is nice and tight so that it's not digging into itself when you do eventually catch a fish. Because that's no bueno, because your next cast isn't going to go very far if that braid's dug into itself after you've fought a fish. So, I bought something off of Amazon. And of course, you guys read the title of the video. You already know it's the Piscifun line spooler. And, you know, I figured I'd pick it up. You know, I kept seeing advertisements on my Instagram like every single day, multiple times a day. So, you know what? I figured I'd pick it up. It's pretty cheap. And, yeah, so I got it. Right here in this box. I haven't even opened it yet, so let's take a look at this thing and just see how well it works. So of course we got our Iraq Veteran 8888 knife. Love this thing. I use it for everything. These things are awesome. So if you guys are into gun culture, check out Iraq Veteran 8888. All right, let's take a look at this thing. First time seeing it in person. All right, there's what this thing looks like in the package. Pretty basic, but yeah, let's get this thing going first. I'm gonna read the instructions just so I don't googan this too bad. Looks pretty straightforward. So we got one piece right here. Not sure what this piece is, but we'll figure that out. And then there's the main doohickey. And another little piece right here. Basically, that's basically assembled. Really, really simple. All right, so let's rig up the Daiwa. Basically, it just has a rod seat on it in reverse. Now, I'm going to be spooling up the Daiwa with some Fitzgerald Versa braid, and this is the braid that's specifically for spinning, and I'm going to do 20 pounds. Some people argue that you only need 10-pound braid when you're fishing the beach, but you know what? I decided to go with 20. This Versa braid is really thin diameter. It casts a mile, and yeah, I mean, there's hardly a difference between the diameter of 10 and 20-pound braid for Fitzgerald. So why not go with 20 just in case you get that extra big fish? I mean, we are fishing in the ocean, and I'm primarily going to be targeting snook, so, and some other species, but mostly snook on this reel. All right, so those little pieces that came in the plastic bag just go on the ends of the spool, and that helps give it a little, you know, the right spool tension, because you've got these little, these look like the little earpieces that, from a stethoscope that doctors use. So that kind of helps seat everything in there nicely. And of course that happens. All right, there we go. My clumsy ass. This thing took forever to get going, but yeah. So this thing looks really cool. You know, obviously you can lock this down, so for spinning reels it spins, which is supposed to eliminate line twist, and then for a bait caster, which I'll spool up next, you can lock this thing down so it doesn't move. So for me, I just like to tie an arbor knot when I am locking down my the line onto the reel. For smaller diameter lines though, it's kind of a pain in the butt, but thicker lines, arbor knot works pretty well. It just works with this 20-pound braid. All right, so I'm trying to set up the spool tension pretty tight. I don't know if I have it that good, but we're just gonna start going. Let's see what happens. Okay, it's working. It's working okay so far. Got 500 yards of this stuff, so this might take a little while. But so far, this is a lot easier than spooling it the old-fashioned way with the screwdriver through the spool and holding it with my feet. Whoa! Wasn't expecting that to happen. All right, so you guys see these little pieces right here? These things keep flying off, like you just saw. It happened a whole bunch of times when I was trying to set up. So I'm gonna omit using these, and I'm just gonna use the earplug looking things. You guys see how I just have the earplug things on the side of the spool? I think this is gonna work out a little bit better. So far it's working better. We got a ton of spin on this thing. And I definitely don't see any line twists, so that's really good. Actually gotta tighten up my drag. Holy crap. You definitely can't spool this very fast, that's for sure. Like, you can't go like Mach speed. When does it end? I just figured out something. You guys may have seen that this thing, the top right here, wasn't exactly spinning with, you know, in time with how I'm cranking. Well, a little secret is you got to start out slow and let it kind of build up speed, and then you can, you know, really start putting some cranks into it. So let me demonstrate that for you real quick. Hopefully you guys were able to see that, how you got to find the cadence and then you can start cranking. Yeah, when it's spinning, you can really feel the pressure. It's a little harder to reel, and it feels like the line's spooling on a lot more tightly. Tightly? Is that even a word? I think tighter is what I meant to say. Spool's filling up, getting there. I don't know if I'll be able to use all 500 yards or not. Can't really tell how much I have left. I'm taking it as far as I possibly can. All right, guys, that is about as much braid as I'm gonna fit on this thing. So yeah, aside from some initial hiccups, I'm actually really happy with this thing. You know, there's definitely a learning curve, but once you get it figured out, it stops becoming frustrating when the thing starts exploding all over the place. And yeah, that was definitely a lot easier spooling this up than doing it the old-fashioned way, that's for sure. I mean, it definitely took less time. I have a 3000 Daiwa BG. You guys saw that in my Indian River video. And yeah, it was definitely quicker to spool this up. There's a ton more line on this than it was that other reel. So yeah, overall I'm really happy. Now I'm gonna switch over. I've got a Corrado that I'm gonna spool up some Sunline FC Sniper, and we'll see how that works. I bet it's probably gonna be a lot easier than this, that's for sure, because you gotta lock it down and this thing doesn't spin anymore. I am gonna try using these little plastic doohickeys again with this, because this is a skinnier spool, and I think that'll just help get the little clamps a lot more tension on the spool, if that makes any sense. I think it does. You know what? We're not using the plastic things. They're too much of a headache. So we're gonna try it without it. It worked the other way, so I don't know. It looks like I gotta use them. Aha! I see what's going on here. This arm right here doesn't have any spring tension. I broke it already. And this is definitely my fault because I broke it due to my lack of experience with this thing. I was kind of just messing around with it, and yeah, the spring doesn't have any tension anymore. As this side, you guys can see that. So I can fix this. Hey, look at that. Okay, so again, that was my fault, not this thing's. Although, that was kind of easy to break, so let's freaking get this thing spooled up already. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. I'm gonna yell. Okay. I think I got it set now. This thing can be a pain in the ass sometimes. We'll talk about that in a little bit. So this is how you want it to look. You want to have your spool in line with the reel. And I don't know if you guys can see it, but when you spool up a bait caster, the line has to come over the top of the spool and into the bait caster, not from the bottom, in case you guys didn't know that. You know, you adjust this knob here for the tension of the spool. You want it as tight as you possibly can get it without breaking this thing, because this is plastic. And I'm not saying the build quality feels but at the same time it kind of does. I mean, this thing was very cheap, so I know you get what you pay for. But anyways, we got everything good to go. Just tighten down the drag a little bit and start cranking. Oh, that's easy. Pick up the speed a little bit. All right, we're getting low on line. Yeah, there it is. Damn, I might have overfilled it by just a hair. There's probably like 10 extra yards on here that I don't need. And now that I think of it, I should have actually used some of the braid to spool on this first, so I actually use less fluorocarbon. I don't know, just in the heat of the moment making the video, I don't know where my head was with that one, but anyways, we'll get it next time. All right guys, let's close out this video because it took me a while to film this. There was just overall figuring this thing out. Took a minute, that's for sure. These pieces, they ended up flying everywhere. I had to go look for them in the bushes and stuff. So yeah, final thoughts on this thing. So definitely needs a little bit of work, but for the price, I don't think you can beat this. I mean, you know, you can probably buy materials to make your own line spooler a little bit cheaper by maybe like $5, but the $5 is definitely worth just picking this thing up and, you know, trying it out. So I'm definitely gonna be spooling up my reels with this thing. I gotta say the learning curve is a pain in the butt. You gotta take your time and figure this thing out. This is best with wide spools. You know, something at least like this, a little bit bigger. These skinny little spools, it takes a lot of finagling to get it in here and set up correctly. And like I said, these stupid little things, they're just, with the spring tension, they just go everywhere. Yeah, it needs, I don't know, is there a better design? Maybe. Someone could probably come up with a better mousetrap, that's for sure. But I still am pretty impressed with this. It made spooling up so easy. I mean, spooling up the bait caster was super quick. And then, you know, I don't know, maybe I'll have to try my 2500 series Shimano CI4, see how quick I can spool some line up on that, because with this guy, it took a while, but then again, this thing holds a lot of line. So, but anyways guys, that is the Piscifun line spooler. Pretty awesome. Great value. Pick this thing up on Amazon. This video is not sponsored by these guys. I don't know. I thought it was a cool opportunity to make a video. These guys were really advertising hard on Instagram. And when you're advertising hard, means one of two things. Your product sucks and you're trying to make it look awesome, or it works and your advertising revenue is really going somewhere. Work with me. I'm happy with it. So yeah, and plus guys, this thing stores up pretty easily, so I don't know what else is there to say about it. I like it. A little bit of a learning curve, but hey, it is what it is. So with that being said guys, my name is Eric. This is the Flobass channel. I appreciate you guys watching so much. I'm gonna be out here on that grind, making videos for you guys every week, for you guys to be inspired by, to get out there and fish. And I will see you in next week's video. So peace out.